glorious and a very exciting morning we wish you. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. This is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. This is the TGF edition, the last installment for this week. Thank you for staying with us. And Femi Ojo is my name. It's going to be an exciting time again today. We round it off on a high. You know, many things have happened from Monday till now, and yesterday till now. Again, we will look into all of that. You already know on the program, we look at headlines from our major dailies, and of course, we are talking about issues of public importance, and that is our assignment again today, bringing it onto you on our platter, either on channel 190 on StarTimes DTT, or, you know, our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. Both ways you are covered. Once again, I say salam alaikum to our Muslim brothers, and this is Friday, you know, Barakat Jima. I want to believe I'm not messing anything up there, and peace be unto you. And talking about peace, peace be unto you, Daniel. Good morning.
Absolutely. Good morning, Femi.
Yeah, it's TGIF.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday once again.
Every day, thank God for Friday.
Yeah, it's the start of the weekend. It's always a pleasure to be here, you know, after a long week. We thank God for life.
Yeah, a very active week.
Absolutely.
A very eventful week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even for Nigeria as a nation, a lot has happened during the week.
Absolutely.
Good morning to you, distinguished viewers all over the world. Thank you for joining us once again on Morning Spring. This is Western Spring Television. Emeka Daniel is my name. It's always a pleasure to have you join us on this show, on your favorite show, where we kickstart your mornings with the best of news and information, and of course, critical discussions and analysis that you do not want to miss. So talking about Nigeria, and of course, the leadership. Just yesterday, the Senate went on a 2-month recess. They'll be resuming on the 23rd of September. So they just have to, they have enough time to relax, you know, enjoy their money, travel, and all that. And still talking about the Senate, last time yesterday, we understand that embattled Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, she was about to take a flight. She was traveling to the UK, but she was actually stopped briefly at the airport, at the Abuja airport, by immigration. She was delayed for about an hour. They said her name was included on a watch list. So it was bad for a while, but after some, you know, procedures, she was let go. A little
watch
drama.
list from who?
That's the question again. That's the question.
Is it from the UK?
That's the
or from Nigerian authorities?
No, from
or from the NDLEA or from whatever agency. She's like any other Nigerian.
Exactly.
But then she could be stopped, you know.
Yeah.
But then because of the heat of the moment, anything around Natasha right now,
red political, that's it.
Make headlines. That's just the thing. But on the normal day, she could be cool aside to ask questions. It's not a biggie, but now because of what is on ground,
absolutely.
Even if there is a bed, you know, that quick, like 2-3 times, somebody put a mini there.
Absolutely.
Just as easy as that.
Yeah, and talking about leadership, you know, a lot of people, political observers, have been watching with great concern the trend going on at the National Assembly, APC gaining majority. You know, yesterday we talked about it. Now in the Senate, out of 109 seats, we have 70 APC, PDP we have 28, Labour Party we have 5, NMPP, SDP 2, NMPP 1, ABGA 1. If you sum all that up together, that will give you about 107. There are 2 vacant seats. Of course, that of Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, who passed away earlier this year. Then that of Senator, that's Anambra South. Then Senator Monday Okpebholo, that's Edo Central, who became governor. So the Senate will run by elections, but so far,
disturbing to know that the vacant seat of the late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah is yet to be filled.
Absolutely.
That's unfair.
Yeah, that's on INEC.
Yeah, that's on exactly. That's unfair on the people of the Anambra South. That means they have lack representation. That's more than 6 months. By the way,
it was early,
I think was it earlier this year or late last year?
No, I think it's earlier this year, so it should be still around that, you know, 6 months.
That's not fair. So what does it take to conduct a by-election?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure that's fair. And don't want to think they are waiting for the Anambra Guba election before they will do that. That will be in November, and that will be absolutely unfair. And I think the people of Anambra South should speak up on that matter. So how would they be fair? Who have been
Yeah.
No, that's not.
So the concern now is, now that APC is gaining so much ground, I mean, inching towards just 2 seats shy of 2/3 majority, it doesn't look very good, because it means whatever they want to achieve, they can easily push it with or without the support of the opposition.
Just 2 seats away.
Exactly.
From being having that 2/3.
Exactly, which means they can actually decide anything.
And I'm very sure. I'm very sure it will happen.
That's the problem.
It will happen.
That's the problem.
If
you look at the House of Reps too, if you look at House of Reps, out of a total of 360 seats, APC now has 224. PDP 86, Labour Party 26, NMPP 16, ABGA 6, SDP 2. Then of course, which one is one? ADC has 1 seat.
Yeah.
That's out of, if you sum all that up, that'll give you about 355. 4 passed away, then 1 resigned. So generally speaking, APC is taking over the National Assembly, and they are still expecting more defections,
yeah, it will happen.
more people to join them.
They will have those seats.
Yeah. So the concern is that the nation, if we are not careful, we're talking about democracy here.
Right.
The concern among watchers is that if this trend continues like this, we might be, in a subtle manner, shifting towards totalitarianism, or what do you call it again, or authoritarianism. Yeah, that's the problem. And so that we don't just degenerate into dictatorship, that's the concern. Because before you know it, I mean, some funny things. No, we are laughing about it now, but it's not funny, actually. It shouldn't be so. We should have strong opposition in our National Assembly. And that's really what the concern is all about.
And, for proper context, any party, once they do it through the right way, having members, even if they occupy the whole of the National Assembly, is not against the law, actually. But then, what does it mean for our democracy?
Yeah, it's not healthy for democracy.
It's not healthy, actually. And that's why, even in business, competition is good, actually. Because if it's one person that is providing a service, then monopoly is what it is called, and that person can choose to do whatever time. Either it pays you, doesn't pay you, that's the issue. Now that we have pockets of opposition parliamentarians, and then we still have this kind of National Assembly, which many have regarded to be an extension, of the executive. Now imagine when they now have the 2/3. That means even before executive bills are read, they are already passed. That's what it means. The only thing the only reason why they will come to talk about it at the floor is for process, actually, because that's just, and it's not good. There's a reason why the proponents, or the drafters of the lines of these democracy, that why they have put those things there. Legislature on one side, judiciary on the other, and the executive, and one do not supersede the other. But there is one that has a very important role, very key important role to play, in the way the others run their matter. It is the legislative arm.
Absolutely.
The principle of checks and balances, in fact, as far as Nigeria is concerned, they should just remove that, actually. As far as the executive, maybe the checks and balances might be for agencies of the government or the ones that are not loyal to those committees of those houses. When they get there, you have problem. They will find something to do with you, either rightly or wrongly. But when it's coming from the executive,
it just rubber stamp everything.
That's just the thing. Now, when you have a large chunk of them. Now, but then we've had democracies, even in the US, in which some things were brought forward by Republican presidents, and you see some Republican parliamentarians frowning at it. Say, no, we don't belong
That's the way democracy should be.
And the executive will be struggling to even convince them. In fact, by the time those decisions are being made, the executive are not sure if actually whatever they are bringing will sell through, or it can be rescinded. That's the way it should be.
They have to be convincing just to make sure.
They have, when they were sworn in, they were not sworn in by the constitution of their party. They were sworn in by the constitution of the Federal Republic of their, country. In this case, Nigeria.
What do you have here? On your mandates on the floor of the
House, and everybody is
on
excited.
the mandates of the president.
The president sneezes, they are clapping. He giggles, they are clapping. Oh, he's not the architect of their downfall, but he's happy to witness their disarray. They're happy. People are clapping, and then they are laughing mouth to mouth. But even this morning, it's been reported that people are dying in Plateau. Again, even uniform men. What are they doing? Nothing. Neck meetings here and there, which is fine. But what does those things? You get to see when seats are being, information being given on the floor of the house that, okay, these people are leaving this party to the other party. You see the excitement and all of those things because they get to be welcomed by the principal officers of those parties, move to the other side in which they sit and all of those things. But then, when last did you hear anything about security on the floor of the house?
So we are leaving governance for politics. That's the problem.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And if care is not taken, there is a precedence in Nigeria, even in the state. Any preceding year to an election year, things naturally shut down in Nigeria because people will be busy. Oshu election is 2026, and you know the mood right now, around here right now. Now, in Nigeria, election is 2027, but you will think the election is by the end of this year.
Honestly, that's what we're seeing right now. That's what we're saying.
And the real business of governance is draggy.
Mm.
Now, I'm sure the people in Benue will be waiting. People in Plateau will be waiting. Taraba, other parts of the country, Borno, and all of those places. When these people die, you know what we do here is to say, God forbid. You pray it doesn't come to you.
Yeah,
but those people that are suffering it, they are as Nigerians.
Yeah, they are human
as
beings.
you are.
Yeah,
they are as Nigerians, Mr. President. All of those things. And decisions have been made. I'm talking about decisions. The APC now have a substantive chairman.
Yeah. Professor Yuwasda.
Tanwe Yitwada, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. Obviously, he will have to resign the appointment because I'm not sure you can be a minister and still be a party leader. Yeah,
now he's a party leader.
And he's from Plateau State. He's a Christian, and some have said, okay, it's a very bold move by the party. Some will say by the president because they need to make a statement to the people of the North Central that the APC cares for them. And for the people who have an issue with the Muslim faith, now, Yitwada is a Christian and is from the North Central. The president, most likely, that will be seeking re-election, is a Muslim. We are not sure yet who the running mate will be. If he's sticking with Shetima, that's a Muslim. Some have said, okay, maybe it's a Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso is a Muslim.
Yeah, you recently met with Kwankwaso at the villa.
Yeah.
So
there are fillers start, the transfer window and the announcement. We'll get to see that. But then APC now, from Ganduje to Yitwada, And the PDP, I think, tried to have their own neck too yesterday. You can never tell with PDP. They are always a funny.
Absolutely. But their national convention should be in November or thereabouts.
Is I saw a report yesterday I was talking about uncertainty. Well, you just see PDP, there's uncertainty here. Because you are never sure what you are going to meet. Now, those tendencies, have they agreed that there will be convention? Mr. Wike.
They've even chosen Ibadan. They've chosen Ibadan for their convention. So you should know that Sheyi Makinde is strongly involved in that for them to have picked Ibadan.
Many things to really talk about in the course of the program. And then for the memory of many of us, our childhood, a man passed away. Talking about the WWE.
Terry Bolly.
Yeah. Hogan, a very popular person, one man with so much swag.
Absolutely.
So much swag.
I didn't get to know his real name, best name until yesterday.
Wow.
Because we've always known him as Hulk Hogan. That's it.
The man wears yellow, he comes with all these paraphernalia, gets to the ring, tears off the thing. Exactly. Tells rouse up the crowd and everybody shouts.
He's a wrestling legend. He's a wrestling legend.
Yeah, he has passed on, so much more. Many of them like that. The other guy, there is a guy around my side. We call him Warrior, Ultimate Warrior. Actually, the same Bret Hart man. And many of those guys, those were the kind of entertainment we had as children.
And Hulk Hogan gained popularity because he was family friendly. Children loved him. Yeah. Growing up then, we just loved Hulk Hogan. So he appealed to the children, to the adults, to everyone. Yeah. So he had that, it
was a showman.
Followership. Yeah, absolutely.
A proper showman, yes. Passed on. Now, the newspaper segment is next. We start the newspaper headline segment from the Punch for today. The Punch, punching it. Post-neck meeting. Post-neck meetings. APC, PDP set stage for Epic 2027 face-off with a rider. New APC chair, Yitwada, vows Tinubu's return. Makinde, Bala, lead PDP governors in 2027 power takeover thought. Yeah, right. And you see the picture of the two parties having their meetings. The president, was part of that APC NEC meeting. And then at the other side, you see the PDP NEC meeting pictures with the interim chairman, Damagum, and Governor Bala of Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State. Below that, fake customs officer arraigned after scamming victims 34 million naira. Makinde unveils new Oyo tourist hub master plan. Makinde unveils new Oyo tourist hub master plan. I hope it's a master plan that is ready, to fund all the way, because it still has like 1 year, 6 months. Whatever master plan can still pull through. Actually, APC power chairs. Yutwada peak Brighton Shatima. Northeast 2027 chances. You see calculations there now. APC power chairs, Yutwada, peak, Brighton Shatima, and Northeast 2027 chances. So you can see the shuffle there. So, okay, if a Christian North, a Christian person from the North Central has been picked, okay, so maybe there is a chance that the Northeast might retain.
Yeah, the VP slot.
The VP. And, still with a Muslim thing. And then these are the issues, calculations and calculations. Now, top strip, state slashing power tariffs must pay subsidy. State slashing power tariffs must pay subsidy. NERC NAC. And 14 villagers, policeman killed in Plateau attack. 14 villagers, policemen killed in Plateau attacks. That is one too many. 14 villagers, policemen, have lost their lives. They have been killed in Plateau attacks again and again. Here we are. Natasha to serve out suspension as Senate enters recess. Natasha to serve out suspension as Senate enters recess. You could see everything was planned out. They were shielded away from entry.
Absolutely.
Because the following day, they were going to go on recess. And so for the next 2 months, by the time they are back, the 6 months will almost be complete. And then it is what it is. Even when the court has said,
and they will tell
this is what you should do.
And they will tell her, we told you. You have to listen. Just to make sure.
These are supposed to
it's
be,
all about egos.
These are supposed to be lawmakers.
Yeah.
And so, implicitly, you can say they are lawbreakers now. Because whatever appeal they have done, they have not been given a judgment.
Exactly. They didn't get an injunction to,
So whatever
really.
Now, a court has given an injunction and the Senate are choosing to do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, they believe they're above the law. That was part of Akpabio's legal team argument. They believe they're above the law, that the court lacked the jurisdiction.
Even if you want to prove the issue of jurisdiction, is another
court that will
pronounce that.
But now they're the ones judging.
You don't say, no, you don't have a right to tell me this, so patch it.
They are the ones adjudicating and, dishing out the judgment at the same time. That's Nigeria.
Even if some lawyers have said, okay, the way Natasha went about the whole thing, she can't enforce as an individual, fine. How about the Senate as an institution that was given an instruction by the court?
The truth remains that we are not practicing democracy. That's just the truth. On paper, we might say we're practicing democracy, but in reality, we are not practicing democracy. That's just it.
And the senators they are arguing a separation of powers. Even that should be done in your case. And you should wait till the court have made a pronouncement on that. You don't even have an injunction, stay of execution. We are not aware of that, at least in the public space.
Absolutely.
So this lady will not be called back. She tried to force it. She was blocked off. The following day, the Senate went to recession. For the next 2 months, you attend to ye Israel. And we are supposed to call them honorable members of the National Assembly.
Absolutely.
They are supposed to be distinguished senators, but behaving in a manner that is in sharp contrast with whatever that is. These are supposed to be lawmakers.
That's the reality.
They are lawbreakers right now.
That's the reality.
That's just the way it is. You can't just well, it is what it is. Nigerians are watching, but then, you know, that allegation of Nigerians being docile, I'm not sure we are going to shed it away very soon, because this is it. Everybody will move on.
But that's the truth. Nigerians are docile.
Well,
okay? We don't hold our leaders accountable. Most Nigerians do not hold their leaders accountable. When they see their leaders, instead of asking them, okay, what have you done with public funds? Yeah. Most times when the leaders just, dole out some, token to them, 10,000, 20,000. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That's all.
Because the same leaders have made them poor.
Yeah. So the people are not holding the leaders accountable anymore. That's the problem.
And this is not even about any justice or love for Natasha. From many persons are not seeing it that way. There is a court that made a pronouncement.
Absolutely.
You don't have to like Natasha for the court order to be obeyed.
Absolutely.
You have appealed. So you made an appeal. There is no court pronouncement on that. No stay of execution. You choose to cherry pick. The court doesn't have the jurisdiction, number one, in their prayers. And then the court, whatever the court has granted Natasha wasn't in the prayers being sought. So they choose to do what they want. The court of law. And
today it's Natasha, tomorrow it might be anyone. It could be anyone.
That is the bad precedent that's being set right now. To say it's our affairs. Whatever we do on the floor of the house is our affairs. Court, you can't talk to us on that, and that is all. And man, let's just go ahead. Now, Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms. CDS. Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms. How was this counted, by the way? Because when these kind of figures are given in Nigeria, it's always to the next whole number, 200, 100, 150, never 192, 3001.
They have to approximate the nearest whole number.
All right, I agree. That will be all from the Punch for today.
Yeah, and from the Punch newspaper, we move to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Yewadas imagines alters zoning structure. APC chairman Yewadas imagines alters zoning structure with riders. Two NEC officers affected. Then beside that, we have, I need your cooperation to fix the party. SY minister pleads with stakeholders. I need your cooperation to fix the party. SY minister pleads with stakeholders. Talking about Professor Twada right there, former Minister of Humanitarian, of course, Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, who is now the national chairman of the APC. We also understand that he has vowed to make sure he returns Mr. President in 2027.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how he does that. Okay, moving on to other stories, to the top strip of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. ADC to Tinubu, diplomacy not a side hustle. ADC to Tinubu, diplomacy, not a side hustle, with riders. Insist absence of Nigerian ambassadors in key global capital embarrassing. Still talking about the absence of Nigerian ambassadors. It's actually embarrassing, especially in key global capitals around the world when we do not have representation. So how then can we how do we plead our case? How can Nigerians fight for their rights? So when they now make decisions, you tell them, recently they are saying, they told the UK and the UAE government that they are not aware of their visa policies. Come on, are we joking? Are we joking here? Do you think
the ADC accused the president of not doing well by not appointing ambassadors, and the federal government responded through the foreign affairs minister, and to say all of those things. I think there is, the follow-up by ADC to say it's not a side hustle.
Yeah,
it's a real business of the state. There is a reason why they are called ambassadors. So you can't just wish it away, making it to look like it doesn't matter.
So when those nations now make decisions, you now send a Nigerian there first to travel there just to speak for you. Well, it doesn't really make any sense, and there's no excuse at all, no excuse whatsoever for Tinubu's administration not to have appointed ambassadors up till now. Away from that, still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, 10th, 10th Memorial Symposium, I beg your pardon, for Oni Shijuade holds today in Lagos. 10th Memorial Symposium for Oni Shijuade holds today in Lagos. You find that story on page 10. Moving on to other stories. Osun AG, Nasarawa SSG, 55 others make new SAN list. Osun AG, Nasarawa SSG, 55 others make new SAN lists. Talking about senior advocates of Nigeria. You find that story on page 3.
Kudos to them.
Absolutely, absolutely. They should add value to the legal profession. It's not just about having the title. You should add value. It comes with responsibility.
Yeah.
We should have better representation of our legal system and the judiciary too. We've been talking about the judiciary. They shouldn't just be like another appendage of the executive, because some Nigerians believe the judiciary as well has been captured, because when the executive do what they do, they get the National Assembly to ratify, then they tell you go to court, just because they know the court will still rule in their favor, and it shouldn't be so. Below that, health, under the health section, we have more than 1,300 died globally from contaminated medicines. WHO UNODC reports more than 1,300 died globally from contaminated medicines. This is quite unfortunate, contaminated medicines. You find the story on page 10. Below that, Makinde announces tourism reset agenda at International Tourism Summit. Makinde announces tourism reset agenda at International Tourism Summit. You'll find that story on page 17. PDP holds National Convention November 15-16 in Ibadan. PDP holds National Convention November 15-16 in Ibadan. And below that, you have riders heads to court to recover seats of defected National Assembly members. What can they really do? Because those members of the National Assembly defected on the ground that there are internal, problems within the party.
The waiver
which is actually legal.
By the law.
Absolutely.
Actually, once it can be proven.
Yeah.
So it will be hard task.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually. Yeah, because PDP cannot deny the fact that they have internal challenges. And that's the excuse given by these National Assembly members. So let's see what they really get out of the courts if they truly want to challenge the defections. Well, others says APC, beg your pardon, that's not so clear, so I guess I'll just leave that. Moving on to other stories on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Nigeria working with Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso to fight cross-border insecurity. Nigeria working with Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso to fight cross-border insecurity. That's according to the CDS. And on the bottom strip right there, we have FG improves energy transmission capacity with 50.4 megawatts in Ibadan. FG improves energy transmission capacity with 50.4 megawatts in Ibadan. Sometimes when you look at the, little improvement in electricity compared to the population of Nigeria, sometimes you just wonder, what would 50.4 megawatts actually do? Well, it may improve electricity in some areas, but it is still very little compared to what we need in Nigeria. We are far, far below, getting anywhere close to the amount of electricity we need generated and transmitted in Nigeria. Well, that'll be all from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
All right. From the Nigerian Tribune, we move to the next point of call, and that will be the daily trust for today. Tinubu marginalizing North in resources allocation. Tinubu marginalizing North in resources allocation. Kwakwanso. Right. From the candidate of presidential candidate of the NNPP in the 2023 general election, presidential election. Tinubu marginalizing North in resources allocation. So, a 19-year-old woman arrested for allegedly killing 2 minors. 19-year-old woman arrested for allegedly killing 2 minors. How? Why? Where?
19-year-old.
Quite
unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. 19-year-old, you know. All right. And Akpabio, Bamidele clash over leadership style. Akpabio, Bamidele clash over leadership style. Which of the Bamideles? We know we know the Akpabio.
The minority leader.
I want to agree that I know the Bamidele,
Yeah.
but because it will be hard to hear that two jolly good friends are having issues, you know, over leadership style. Kwame Bamidele is the Senate leader. Yeah, majority leader.
Majority leader rather.
Yeah. So, and okay, you might get to see more detail, you know, from page 14 of the Daily Trust on how journalists was killed in Kogi. How journalists was killed.
Oh, I guess that's the photojournalist who was killed, right?
Why? What for?
I saw a report yesterday, although I didn't see details of that, they found the killer dead. So I'll look into that later.
The killer?
Yes, I saw a report somewhere that
the photojournalist died,
the killer of the killer found dead again. So I really like to know more. I'll try to dig in deeper to know exactly what happened there.
A colleague of ours, you know, and it speaks to, I wouldn't know the detail, just like you said, yeah, but many persons, you know, lose their lives, especially in the line of duty. We are called the fourth estate of the realm, really. The pen is mightier than the sword and all of those things. But in reality, it's a very, it can be dangerous.
Absolutely.
It can be difficult. But then your conscience is just what keeps you moving.
Yeah.
Your passion and your duty allegiance to the public.
Absolutely. You know, journalism sometimes, you know, might get very risky.
Yeah.
Look at the case of Jamal Khashoggi, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia.
Even the crown prince was fingered, you know, as being responsible.
Happened.
Yeah, we're talking about the crown prince of Saudi Arabia here. So even if the US might have intelligence, the CIA might have intelligence, but sometimes, you know, there's nothing they can do. And we're talking about the journalists here who just, you know, absolutely.
You know, many persons, even if, you know, it's really a very, well, but then it's a career we have chosen.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes they'll tell you some issues that,
quite horrible.
As a result of national security, you're not supposed to print this, you're not supposed to say this. And sometimes if you do, they just
some things are not, you know, it's easy to hide many things under national security.
Absolutely.
But they will know there are some things that are not anything related to national security. It's just humans' wickedness and some persons, you know, penchant to cover the truth by all means. That's just the thing, because it is honorable. We pray for God's protection on everybody, in as much we and you are doing it according to the dictates of the profession, the ethics, you know. Well, you have your conscience to guide you, and you know, your passion to pull you along. Now, how journalist was killed in Kogi, and I hope we get to the root of this matter, and why APC selected Netanwe as chairman. You want to know why? Pick up a copy of this paper. Why APC selected Netanwe as chairman. You know, many persons feel that's not a popular name, so to speak.
You know, names from that part of the country.
Yeah, not even how the name sounds.
Yeah,
no.
the personality.
Yeah, the personality and the stature.
Yeah.
Because when you mention the first 20 in APC, you might not remember it, can you?
Absolutely.
There's one day, but then they say, okay, it was APC Guba candidate for Plateau, was defeated by Mufwang. So, you know, he might have some stature to himself. But in national politics, he doesn't really have that clout, so to speak.
Yeah.
And there are insinuations that there is a reason why he was chosen, you know, because whoever will be the party leader must be loyal to the person. So
absolutely,
you can do the math to say, this is what I want, this is what I get, and you know.
Yeah, you know, when lots of people were pushing for Tanko Makura, you know, people said, he doesn't really have a relationship with the president, so there's no way he will be appointed. The president has to appoint someone who is close, who he has relationship with someone he trusts, someone he can confide in, and that's what actually played out.
And people thinking in that direction might not be too wrong. And there are some, there is a particular school of thought that believes the president doesn't like people with, in their words, opinion. Actually, now, when you are spoken to, you should just run along. Actually, that Tanko Almakura, it is a big name. Actually, former senator, ranking one for that matter. And so these are people that might want to say no to some issues at some point. And there are people that feel Mr. President, with his brand of politics, not as a president now, but with his brand of politics, even from Lagos, he doesn't like opinionated.
Exactly. In that case, Femi, then he's going to have a problem with someone like Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso.
Well,
that's
the
point.
Daily Trust is saying what Kwankwaso is saying right now. But then, if there is a move that is very expedient to take, there are some things that will be managed. Ego is part of it as well. Absolutely. Because there is a bigger picture in front. So, it's more like, let's get there first. We'll find a way around it. But then these are calculations and conjectures of people. Netanwe Itwata, the APC chairman. You want to know why he was selected? Okay, there you go. The Daily Trust as you covered. And top strip, why PDP moved convention from Kano to Oyo. The Daily Trust this morning has many whys, and how journalists were killed, why APC selected Netanwe, why PDP moved convention from Kano to Oyo. All right, that would be.
Well, I think moving it to Oyo might. I think that's easy, and that's easy to figure out.
Okay,
and that's a strong word of Shimakinde, of course. So we don't need a soothsayer.
Will Minister Wike travel to?
That's the big question. So we don't need a soothsayer to know why it was moved to Ibadan.
Well, all right. Applications for new parties hit 144. 144. I think we should get one registered.
That you just spoke my mind. I was just like, why not just register one as well?
We'll think about that. All right. And dismissed soldier sentenced to death by hanging for robbery. That's from grace to God. Actually, it's just unfortunate.
Well, this is not the first time I'm saying something like this. I remember back then as an undergraduate, one of my colleagues was saying that in this area, that the way robbers were operating then, that they are suspecting that some of them might actually be ex-military, because the way the weapons they use and all that. But again, Femi, when you have people who have been trained and they are dismissed, they are disengaged, sometimes, because of hardship, they just go into different forms.
But there's a reason why they are dismissed.
Yeah.
If they are dismissed, dismissed, that means there is, character issue.
Yeah. So they should be rehabilitated. Not just sent back to the society
and
like
monitored.
That. Yeah.
Actually, that's one thing. You can't have a trained hand.
Exactly.
Somebody that is knowledgeable in the handling of military-grade weapons, dismissed and released into the society without monitoring. And I want to agree with you. That's a danger and disaster there. So imagine if that person, maybe due to character flaw, was dismissed. That means there is a problem with the character. Now he can't do things legally again. He has the skills. He can handle weapons. And if he's approached by the wrong people, that's danger.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's one line that the military must look. If somebody has been dismissed, there are laws. They have been dismissed. If it's due to corruption or crime, then they should be prosecuted and locked up. If actually they are,
found guilty.
Yeah, found guilty. And so not just to be released.
Yeah.
And this is
and they should be rehabilitated.
How many of these ones do we have right now? There are many that are not even dismissed, possibly for one reason or the other. Either they retire or one thing happened, they're out of the service and they are being poorly paid. I'm not saying that's the reason for this. We don't know. And no reason is justified.
No, it contributes that. But
I'm just saying that should not be justification for crime.
Absolutely.
The law, our laws doesn't, permit that. But I'm just saying that even those that are not dismissed, people that have retired, just like the policemen that were, that protested the other day, what it takes is for one big, guy that flaunts money, that flaunts cars, to approach them.
That's just it.
He wouldn't tell you that he wants to use you for bad thing. All he has to do is arrange 5 people for me, have a security job for you. And from there, they're introduced to something else.
Absolutely.
And these are guys that are experienced. And because what they are earning is nothing, they can be easily recruited by these guys. Absolutely. And then they will be a danger to society just because in that particular context, the system has failed them and keep failing them.
Absolutely. Oh, Femi, hold on. Are you putting on a camel? That looks like a camel.
No, that's not.
I just said, look,
that's not a camel. Whatever your intentions are.
It just struck my mind that looks like an army grain. So
you want to know?
You know one thing about Nigerian army.
Yeah.
You know, whenever they see you wearing camel, if you go to other parts of the world, you can actually wear camel. I mean, just in solidarity with their military and
to show support.
But here in Nigeria,
it's a crime.
Oh boy,
no, it's a crime. I've been at this question. I've been at a military program before. It was organized by the Army Public Civil Relations Unit. They have these units, and they are intentionally pushing, a narrative that, we have a duty to even to the public, apart from the security. Now, truly, the army or the Nigerian military have, civilian interventions that they have done over and over. They do have medical intervention. Yeah. They do repair roads. I've seen them construct bridges, especially during natural disasters, a lot of those things. There was a time a very important bridge broke down somewhere in Sokoto, and the army took it up, at least to put makeshift
they have engineers,
for them. So they do all of those things. But that hard line position of theirs usually make many persons to run away from them. So I was such a meeting at Doekiti, and I raised a meeting that, somebody somewhere came back from overseas, got me some camel shorts. Until now, I can't wear them because I can't allow somebody to distill my steeds.
They'll just
tell me to be rolling on the floor and mess me up. And many persons were, as I raised that question, because many of them were there, you see people tapping me to say, you have asked questions for me. So I told them, that's why we are here. Yeah, I told them, is it a crime? And why do you always do that? I gave the example you gave. Many persons across the world, when they travel out, they wear these things.
Exactly.
They take pictures.
Yeah.
And everybody smiles to the camera, to the army man. You see, if I meet an army man, and I'm well boxed up at a restaurant, I should be happy to buy him food.
Absolutely.
To say thank you for what you are doing for our nation. But here in Nigeria,
not in Nigeria.
Can you even move close? Because you don't know if the man will be angry.
They are not friendly.
And that's who gone you? How dare you?
They are not friendly.
A bloody civilian. And we were told, because of the security implications to that, is against the law. Because many persons have actually used these army gears
to commit crimes.
And they keep doing that. And so they would rather ban everything so that everybody can be in peace. And so maybe if you're having ammo short, by the way, to answer your question, this is not an ammo shirt. The moment you go outside of the country, you can wear them. But,
absolutely.
I told them I can't wear them. Everybody busted into life because you just come out of your house and somebody in a Hilux flags you there and say, who goes you there?
But sometimes you should just look for trouble. Just try wearing it, Sometimes, that skit. I don't want peace. Just wear it.
I want peace. I want peace. Have you seen my face? Have you seen bruises on my face? No, I'm a gentleman. All right, so many things. I don't know what your intentions are. Because you started with my clothes, now you're asking me to look for trouble where there's actually none, only goes fire. We have so many things to talk about today, but right now we take a quick break and we will return. Stay with us. There is so many things, there are so many things, to really talk about as well. And we are live on our YouTube channel, Western Spring TV. We want your feedback. What is happening at your end? Stay with us.